Hello, it's Claire again. I'm now day 19 post-op following my abdominoplasty procedure, and I just thought I'd do a quick update. I'm feeling really well in myself. I feel in myself 100%. It's just the physical side of things now that I'm still recovering. I can breathe absolutely normally now. Initially I had real tightness sort of, in the upper abdominals, and found it quite difficult to breathe in the first week. By about day 10 that did start to kind of ease off quite a lot. By 2 weeks I was breathing pretty much normally, so the last few days I've been breathing as normal. Haven't had to use my spirometer or anything like that to try and encourage the deep breathing exercises anymore, because I feel like I'm breathing normally. And it's just not necessary anymore. The tightness in the upper abdominals has relaxed an awful lot as well, so that doesn't feel like I'm being crushed from the inside out anymore. So that's something that's really helped as well with the recovery, because that was really uncomfortable initially. Just felt like you were being squeezed from the inside. So that's eased off. It's still tight, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and say it feels like normal, because it doesn't. But it has eased off. In terms of my ability to stand straight, I'm still not 100% straight. I feel like in the last couple of days I've hit a bit of a wall with it, really. Every day I was gradually getting a bit straighter, and then in the last 3 or 4 days I've just been stuck at this point, which is 99% straight, where when I stand there I can stand all the way, but I just can't quite put my shoulders back. When I'm sat down I can sort of sit quite upright, as I am at the moment, but when I stand up, just that extra stretching out of your legs and everything just feels really tight in the middle. So like if you imagine all the muscles like one on top of the other, it feels like they're being pulled apart if I try and straighten myself up. So it's very uncomfortable. So I can't, I keep thinking, is it in my head? Am I just trying not to stretch myself out because I'm worried that things are going to pull apart? But it's not, it is there. I can feel it really tight on the inside. Haven't got any more scar tenderness anymore. I took the tapes off 2 days ago to replace it with fresh tape. My surgeon recommends that you keep the scar covered with micropore tape for the first 3 months, just to keep the scar nice and flat so that it heals nicely. But you have to replace it every couple of weeks, not more than that, because if you're replacing it too much then you're just going to aggravate the scar. But if you replace it about every 4 weeks, or when it's hanging off. So the other day I had to take it off the first time, seen the scar. The skin edges have come together beautifully. It's a bit raised and puckered and things at the moment, which is what you'd expect at this stage in the recovery, just over 2 weeks. You're certainly not expecting it to be nice and flat and perfect, with silvery thin line or anything like that at this stage. It looks exactly like the scars on my breast did at exactly the same time, and they've healed to like a really thin white line that you can barely see now, so I'm confident that it's going to heal together nicely. The bruising, I'm sorry, my cat's moithering for a fuss. The bruising has been very minimal anyway, but that what was there has pretty much gone. I've still got some yellow bruising over the hips where they did the lipo, and I've still got some yellow bruising on the inside of my thighs, which was left from where that had appeared. All the swelling in my thighs is gone now, which is really good, because that was horrendous. So my legs are back to normal. I've still got swelling around my hips. I've still got quite a lot of swelling in the front lower abdominal area, so I've just got that kind of bloated, permanent bloated look. It's quite hard, quite swollen in that area, and as the day goes on and the more I do, it gets worse. But it's certainly by no means flat even first thing in the morning. It's still quite swollen. Sort of got that look of when you're kind of, 16 weeks pregnant, that kind of, just that slight little bit of a curve at the bottom. Nothing that you could call a bump, but there's something there, and that's exactly what it looks like at this stage. So it's getting a bit frustrating, because as I said, that seems to have hit a bit of a wall in the last couple of days as well. The swelling was sort of gradually going down and down and down and down, and that sort of hasn't really seemed to have reduced an awful lot in the last couple of days, but this is part of the recovery and I've just got to deal with it and get on with it. I've been taking these capsules 3 times a day. These are Bromelain, which in the UK you can buy in health shops like Holland and Barrett, places like that. They're 500 milligrams. Basically it's a enzyme that's found in pineapple, so you could probably just eat a load of pineapple if you wanted to, but I tend to find it gives you quite bad indigestion if you eat too much pineapple. The idea of it is that it's a natural digestive enzyme, and it's supposed to help to reduce swelling and inflammation. So you take it 3 times a day with food. So I've been taking that. Who knows whether it's working or not? I can't say how much my swelling would be reduced if I hadn't taken them, so I don't really know, but I'm taking them anyway. It's certainly not going to do me any harm. So that's that. Like I say, myself, I feel great, which is what's making it even more frustrating, because I feel like I want to be going out doing things. I want to get back to work. I want to start, exercising again, but I'm so far away from being able to do all those things. My GP's just signed me off for another 4 weeks from work, because there's just no way I'm capable of working in the physical job that I do, because I work in hospital as a midwife. There's just no way on earth I could look after patients. I can barely look after myself physically at the moment. I can walk around. I've just been for a walk today outside. I've only been for about a mile, and a mile sounds like absolutely nothing, but it felt like I walked about 20 miles by the time I got home. Again, it just gets tighter and tighter and tighter in the abdominal wall as you walk in. You just feel yourself, as you're walking, you're quite straight up to start with, and you feel yourself just hunching over like this by the end of it. So it feels good to get the air in your lungs and get out of the same four walls, and I'm sick of sitting here watching daytime TV. I've had loads of visitors and friends and things have been around, which has been really good, because that's kept me upbeat and kept me, quite positive and things. But other than that, I'm just kind of a bit of cabin fever. I'm one of these people, I'm fiercely independent. I like to be able to go out and about. I still can't drive. Like I say, I can't work for that, so that's another 4 weeks off. The gym seems a million miles away at the moment. But, hopefully in a couple of weeks I'm going to feel a lot better again, and there may be some light at the end of the tunnel. But, I mean, like I say, a mile seems like nothing, what I've done today, but then 2 weeks ago I could barely walk from my bed to the toilet without support. So there's progress being made, albeit small and steady. At least it's progress. The stitches in my belly button have all dissolved now. I had the belly button sort of glued and stitches, just some dissolvable stitches put around the edges just to keep it all together. They've all now dissolved and come out, and the skin has come together beautifully. There's no puckering, there's no swelling, there's no redness, there's no tenderness or anything like that in that area, because that's something that I've seen quite a lot in the past, that people seem to have problems with wound healing around the belly button area, that it can get quite infected. One of the things that I've been doing with my belly button, on my surgeon's advice, is using iodine on it. So what I was told to do is every morning shower, use a bit of iodine on a swab, wash it down with that, and then just put a clean swab over the top of it just to protect it, and leave it alone, don't touch it. And that seems to have kept me infection free and problem free, so that's healed lovely. So it's weird, because it looks like my belly button, how my belly button used to be previous to losing all this weight and previous to having a baby. So that's kind of strange to see how it used to be, sort of like 10 years ago really, but good weird. I am still really happy that I had the surgery done. I certainly don't regret it in any way, even though the recovery's been a lot harder than I was sort of... Well, no, I wouldn't say it's harder than I expected. It is exactly what I expected, really, but it's just when you live in it, you feel the effect of it, whereas knowing what you're going to be facing and actually living it are two different things. So it is what I expected, but it's just getting annoying now, and it's getting a bit old. So I can't wait to feel like physically like there's been a bit more of an improvement there. I'm having to really be strong with my eating as well, because I've been so tempted to reach for the junk. I've had a couple of treats and things. You can't live your life with an iron fist, but it's really, really hard to have the self-control to say no. Don't just sit there on your backside stuffing chocolates in your face, because otherwise I'm just going to gain a shed load of weight and ruin my results, because I haven't got the gym to fall back on to burn off the weight. So that's something that I'm having to sort of battle with. So even then, like when I went for a walk, I just walked into the shop just to have a little wander around, and I really had to force myself from coming home with without some peanut butter cups or something like that. So but yeah, otherwise I've been eating really, really well and trying to stay as hydrated as possible. I've been drinking 2 to 3 litres of water a day, again to help with the swelling. It keeps me mobile as well, because when I'm sat here, it's really easy to kind of go, oh, I've had an operation, I need to sit here and do nothing. If you're drinking that much water, you got to get up them stairs to get to the loo, because it's not gonna stop you from drinking that much water is going to make you get up to go to the loo, because it's going to go straight through you. So that's been something that's kept me at least on my feet a little bit, because I don't want to get problems with I don't want to get a DVT or anything like that. So that's pretty much where I'm up to at the moment. So like I say, no regrets. I haven't taken painkillers for a week, so that's something that's really good. So I'm certainly not in pain anymore. That was obviously long gone now, and the pain side of things has gone. It's just tight and uncomfortable and waiting for things to sort of progress on to the next stage. I've taken some photographs of my tummy at the 2-week stage. So I will put those on now. So here's the photos of what it looks like now. Obviously, you know, there's a lot of healing to be done. There's a lot of swelling in the area. So things are going to calm down a lot more, and it will change quite a lot. But personally, for what I've seen of other people's results at the 2-week stage, I'm really, really happy that this is where we are at the moment. So here's those photographs. So as I say, you can see the swelling there. You know, it hasn't fully healed. You can probably see that I'm quite hunched over it as well from some of the pictures. I am a bit straighter than that now, because those pictures were taken at the 2-week stage and I'm now 19 days. So yeah, so that's that. So I'll update again when, hopefully when I'm straight upright and I'm doing a little bit more. And I don't look like death hopefully by then, because I've got no makeup on my face at all. My hair's scraped back. I desperately need my roots doing. I don't know if you can see how bad my roots are at the moment. They are horrendous. The only reason I haven't had them done is because I can't lie back in the chair to have my hair washed in the hairdressers, so I don't have an appointment. So I keep booking it, and then I keep having to move it forward by another week and another week and another week, because I'm not ready to get them done yet. Because like I say, I'm sat here sort of bolt upright at the moment. There's a big gaping gap between me and the back of the sofa, because I can't sit back, because if you try to lean back into the seat like that, you automatically clench your abdominal muscle. This cat's making a fuss again. Say hello, Lucy. This is Lucy. Soft, aren't you? And yeah, as I was saying, it's natural to just tense your abs when you put yourself back into that position. So the only way to sort of lean back, like when I get into bed, is to pull my knees right up and then hold on to the back of my legs and then kind of flop back into the bed. But I don't really want to be doing that in the hairdressers. So and I'm worried about getting stuck, because it's pulling yourself back up from that position out of bed and things. I have to do a bit of a log roll and roll onto my side. Can't really do that in the hairdressers, so that's why my roots look horrendous. So yeah, hopefully by the next update I might have fresh roots and a face of makeup and look a little bit healthier, and hopefully have some progress to report again. But otherwise I'm doing well, and anybody that's got their procedure coming up shortly in the next couple of weeks or months, you know, if this is something you've longed for a long time, and it's something that you definitely want, and you know that you're unhappy with the way you are as is at the moment, do it, go for it. It is so worth it. Even though I'm going through all this rigmarole of being stuck in the house and everything like that, already the transformation that Mrs. Cat has done for me is amazing. I cannot thank her enough. I am just amazed by how much she's done for me. This surgery does make a big difference to the way you feel about yourself and your confidence. And even with all the swelling and everything else, I probably look worse at the moment in clothes than I did before the operation, but at least I can have a shower now and touch my skin and think, oh my god, it's not like flopping about all over the place. So yeah, it is life-changing, but it is a tough recovery, so do be prepared for that, but do go for it if it's something that you feel is going to make a difference to your life. So that's me for today, and I'll see you again hopefully in the next couple of weeks or so. Thank you for watching. Bye.